In today's video, we are talking about milk, dude. Is milk insulinemic? Is milk good for you at all? Does it spike your insulin? Does it cause inflammation, right? Does it make you more sore after your workouts and give you arthritis? Does it actually have good calcium? All right? So, if you've ever read The 4-Hour Body by Tim Ferris, he talks about this. He says that milk increases fat gain. So if you're trying to gain weight, he's saying make a shake with milk. Now, the reason that he says that milk is high, that milk increases fat gain is because it has a high insulin response. And what happens is when your insulin is up, then you're gonna store body fat. Or at least it's gonna prevent you from burning fat. So, and let me tell you from personal experience, it's true, okay? I have had multiple experiences, like, for instance, I had a day when I was at work. I worked in a warehouse. I was walking around all day, and this is when I was just balanced food groups, oatmeal in the morning, and then sandwiches at lunch. And then I remember going for my break, and I remember having yogurt and fruit, and I had the yogurt, and I got, just kind of zapped me and made me tired and, just like a slug for 2 or 3 hours after that. And then, so that's what happens is when your insulin's high, then you spike it, then you're going to get tired and you're going to get slammed. Another example is have you ever had one of those spinach dips before? And the dip is it's one of those things where you're like, oh my God, this dip is so good. And you can't stop eating it. It's like the more that you eat, the more that you want to eat. What it is it's not just your brain and you're addicted to this dip. It's the insulin response that the dip has because it's made with cream cheese and milk and sour cream and stuff like that. And what it's doing is it's elevating your insulin and then it's causing your body to absorb this. And what happens is I did not know this at all. Especially when you have normal. What happens is when you get your insulin really, really low, and you kind of just purify your body. Then, when you eat these foods that raise your insulin, the minute that you have them, you'll start to feel your body. You'll start to feel it there's a line, and it's there's above this line is cravings and fatigue, right? And then below it, you're good. You're high energy, you're wide awake, and you're ready for war. And then, so as you eat these higher insulinemic foods, you start raising your insulin and getting closer to that bar. And the minute that you get above that bar, then you start to get cravings. And and then if you notice, honestly, if you hit that bar, then you get the sugar cravings, and then you succumb to them, then you start to fall in this battle of ups and downs with insulin crashes. So what you don't want to do is eliminate the dairy for a while, right? I'd go as far as eliminating all the dairy and the fruit and sugar, right? And then you see how you feel. And then when you reintroduce the dairy, you'll notice. And there's, obviously it's going to be person to person. So it's going to be circumstantial. So if you've gone a while on a really low, and you lower your insulin levels really low, this is why bodybuilders will do carb cycling, because it keeps their insulin levels really low. And another thing about the bodybuilders too is you'll notice a lot of them don't have dairy. You'll see these fad diets online where people have tons of dairy, and I can tell you from personal experience, it's not good. I have another video where I got insulin resistance from where I had insulin resistance, and then what happens is I cured my insulin resistance, and every time that I would have dairy, for instance, I had one of these factor meals, and the factor meal had a dairy based sauce. If you notice, if you get these keto meals from these meal prep companies, they're all it'll be vegetables just drowned in butter, and then it'll be a piece of meat with a bunch of heavy cream sauce, sauce made out of heavy cream and cream cheese. And that's literally it's not good for you. The whole point of doing a low carb diet is to lower your insulin. And if you're eating these higher insulinic foods like dairy, and so what would happen is, like with me and my insulin resistance, it would cause me to have these like endless hunger. Like I could feel like the inside of my body just like hollow and open. And then I would eat, and then I would still feel hungry. And that's exactly what insulin resistance is. Like, even if you finish a meal and you're not like in a huge calorie deficit, you're not starving, but you still feel kind of hungry, then that's your hormones. And then what happened is the dairy, like if I had the keto meals with the dairy sauce and the cream cheese and all that bullshit, it would cause the opening to get worse. And then on the other hand, if I had beans, which also stimulate insulin, and you'll get these people telling you how to lower your insulin, these keto people, that they want that you get off the carbs, but the beans were okay. So it's like keto with dairy is not even as good as slow carb with no dairy, because what it is it's the dairy that's causing this. It's raising your insulin. And I promise you that, I mean, and not to say that you can't have ice cream and shit, like whatever, but it's like, if you're trying to keep your insulin low and you're trying to keep your no cravings, super high energy, you want to get lean, you want to get fucking your growth hormone pumping, then don't eat dairy, because it's just going to cause inflammation and your joints are going to hurt. All right. This is daily upload number 1. All right. I got to try uploading on this shit every fucking day, dude. All right. Today is day 1. And I can tell you from personal experience, don't eat dairy. All right. At least not every fucking day. Don't make it a part of your daily diet. Just cut it the fuck out. And you'll feel better. Till next time, stay hard.